Hey guys, today we're here with Gabe.
What's up, guys?
And Josh.
Hey.
And today we are going to be installing a 200 series snorkel on his 2011 second gen Sequoia.
All right, guys, so up till now, we have taken the inner fender liner out. The wheel came off, obviously. That's the first step into kind of getting into this thing. The inner fender liner is held in with these really tricky little flat clips. They have little diagonal tabs on each side that you kind of have to push down to get them out. Takes quite a bit of work, but you can salvage them if you take your time with a plug tool. All right, so we have figured out the initial hole. No measurements yet. We'll give you guys those when we're done. Obviously the stencil doesn't work because it's a little bit of a different fender, but the airbox exit is the same. So we're gonna do a pilot hole, and then we're gonna do our first hole saw hole. This is our first point. It's gonna be through here. We're gonna use this as a fulcrum to tighten up and figure out our angles. Then we'll do the front hole. And once we get this snorkel hole open, and we'll set the snorkel on it and see if we like it, then we're going to use the foam pad to actually use as a template for our fender holes. So here we go. Drop it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice. Focus.
You want this one too for give us room to start.
Hey guys, quick intermission here. I was on my way to grab a heat gun because the snorkel doesn't quite fit up against the A-pillar, so we're gonna need to bend the snorkel a little bit. And there was a woman in her Ford F-150, and she was stuck off the side of the road. So guy TJ and his Jeep came by, and then where I was going to grab the heat from, John, he came by and winched her out, and she got out. But that's just life in Alaska here. I'm just driving the Subaru, so I was like, well, I'm not really of any help, but I can at least help with hooking up the winch hooks and everything else and running the lines. So yeah, we got her unstuck, and there you go, another day. Back to the snorkel install.
So 5 inches from this body seam, this V, come down. That is this measurement here. And that's 25 inches to the back of the hole. It called for a 4.5 inch hole saw. We used a 4 1/4 and it worked out good. We took too much off the front, so we walked the whole thing back. So your rear measurement is 25. vertically 6 3/4 to the inside of the fender to the top. Bottom is 3 5/8. Loctite studs, adhesive on. We use the adhesive as the foam as the stencil for the second half. Go ahead and throw it up there. That's how it's going to sit. You can see the doesn't match the pillar, so we're getting a heat gun right now, and we're going to heat gun that in, and then once that's in, we'll make our holes for our plate. Mark off where the plate's going to sit, and then we'll make some holes for that. Are we hot?
Oh, we're hot.
So you want to go slow. I'm picking a spot that's kind of up under the neck and off the fender. So I don't want to manipulate all this. I just need to bring this top in. So I got pressure on it. I'm just slowly working this. I don't want to see this plastic start to melt. I just want that heat to soak into it. And then the pressure, the ratchet strap is going from the top over to the wheel. So it's kind of getting downward inboard pressure. And I'm just going slow here, letting the heat work, letting the pressure work. And once we get it all the way in where it's touching the car, I'll probably heat it for a little bit after that, and then we're going to let it cool. And ideally, in the end, maybe when it's sitting on here, it won't be flush, but we'll be able to push it close to where we can run the bolts. So we have to do this before we do the A-pillar mount. And in order to do this, you have to fully install the snorkel, get this bent, and then fully uninstall the snorkel. Get that L bracket on the A-pillar installed, and then reinstall everything again. Just a couple clicks at a time. Just keep working it. So I threw another strap on this. Instead of going down, I went straight across the windshield through the cab just to get a little extra lateral pull. Kind of maxed out what I was doing with the red one over to the wheel. So we're in the final stage of heat here. Want to get it good and heat soaked. And then we'll scribe a couple lines on the painter's tape. We are going to have to push this thing into place, clear the door. You can see we're just a little bit below the door line here, so we're going to have to go up and in, which is all right. The problem is you can't really open the door to try it right now because the straps are going through it. That's just a science experiment between the snorkel and the fender, a $2,000 snipes science experiment. But it is really a good looking snorkel.
Yeah, it looks like a mint, bro.
Superman. Well, we did a reset here. Put the straps off. Played with it. Now we're pulling it again after we kind of saw which area needed some more. Our goal here is to get this. It's not going to be sitting flush. That'll come when we bolt it on, but we want to make sure we can clear the door. We can right now, barely. Do another round of deep. By the end of this one, we should be able to mark our spots. The problem is this upper fender is, the lower body lines work pretty well, but this upper swoop right here, different from the Sequoias to the 200s it looks like, so kind of having to mold around that. Big shout out to Josh at Skullflake Off-Road for helping us get this far today. His expertise went a huge amount of way for us. You can use the templates, but when you're doing it on a vehicle it's not built for, it's tough to know where to cut. Super appreciative of him coming out to help us. Thanks again, Josh.
It's gonna hopefully close that door line.
It's not quite flush, you know, on the A-pillar either. So I'm wondering if I may have to actually bend that piece of metal.
Give it up.
No, yeah. I think I will open up that L bracket. I think we'll just leave it kind of up there on the windshield.
Okay.
So the cool thing about doing this is the factory, well not factory, the ARB coupler that comes with the kit can be used to connect to the airbox. On the directions for an install on a 200 series, you take off, there's a piece that goes from the airbox into the fender. That piece comes off. But on the Sequoias and Tundras, I'm guessing, as well, that piece can stay. And you use that factory ARB coupler to attach. We soaked it in hot water. Get it put on, and it made a big difference as far as sliding. Also, Ben, I don't know if you can come over here and see these tubes up here. If anybody out there knows what these are, please tell me.
Which ones? Can you point to me?
These two tubes here, they come up here and they're both open up here. And it looks like they go to these two modules. I don't know what they are. So if somebody out there knows what those are, feel free to chime into the comments and tell us. Educate us, please. Educate us, heathens. I'm worried about it because they're wide open and it looks like a great place to suck in water. Okay, so those are off, and now I'm just gonna pull this whole thing off the fender. So I'm gonna throw this in hot water right now and just have it sitting in hot water while we work on this L bracket. That might have been all we needed. Yeah, so this L bracket, it wasn't a perfect 90 to begin with. It was opened up a little bit already. While we were fitting the snorkel, we saw that this, the piece where the goes into the A-pillar was actually sitting off the body. So what I did is I just bent it a little bit to open it up a little bit more. And I think that will be all we need to have it sit flush. So we have our line that we traced while it was mounted to the snorkel, and it's not a perfect line with the door frame. It's kind of a cross line, kind of like how the fender bolts are. They kind of come down. It doesn't follow the body line perfectly. So we're gonna match that angle. We're gonna move it in. The bolts cleared the door when it was mounted and we were heating it. So we know now anything inboard is gonna clear. But if we put it there, the whole base is on the A-pillar. If we back it closer to the line, now it starts dropping in the hole. So I think we need to just be as close as we can without falling into the valley of the A-pillar and the door. So I think I'm going to do that. That position right there is what I'm going to do. They come with, it's almost like a drywall style. So this actually goes in to the A-pillar, this little plastic piece.
Okay.
And then you put the sheet screw into that.
Okay.
And it spreads it inside so it doesn't come out. So right now these are pilot holes for a bigger bit. Not all the way through.
Hunt. 1 5/16 bit. 5/16. That's probably good. What have you done to Sequoia? What have you done?
Not advisable if you aren't committed.
It's a good idea leaving the tape on also for that. Fucking out of them. Although it kind of go through.
Yeah, these ones are cleaner.
It's okay. Did you want to coat those at all?
Yeah.
Clear coated them?
That first one I missed my opportunity.
Did you?
Snug fit.
Yeah, she was like that.
We're gonna cover it with silicone anyway.
That's true. Cream pies only, folks.
God.
You're the one doing it.
Shit, commentator.
Pull out game.
Stop.
Non-existent.
Oh my god.
If I didn't have the eBay snorkel, I might have had some of these like niceties.
I've been around a long time, man, and I've known for a long time that
Yeah.
ARB
I bet with the silicone, once that dries in place, I wouldn't really be worried about over tightening.
Hold that. I got this.
Okay.
Grab the headlamp
Okay. Where is it?
on the table.
This one?
Yeah. Look down in between the snorkel and the fender and see if you can see.
What do you want me to line up here, the screws, or?
No. See if you can see if that rubber.
Oh, it's not on the top.
Okay, grab that screwdriver
Okay.
and put it in there.
And like stretch it?
Yeah. See if you can put it over.
Pry the rubber? Bjorn. Bjorn. What's this, Bjorn? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Oh. Oh.
Dicey boy.
Oh.
Dicey. Boy.
Alright, so
as can be seen, we are barely gonna make it, folks. We're gonna do another round of heat and suck it in. And then while it's cooling down, we'll start putting this back together, but there it is. For the most part, we're gonna, get the snorkel moving in with some heat. Put the hose clamps under here, which is probably the hardest part of this whole experience, is using that coupler that came with this and mating it to the factory air intake inlet. It's super tough. I don't know what else to say. Heat up the rubber in water or in direct sunlight. You know, soften it up. Rub a little WD-40 on the inside. And in the end, what we had to do is just kind of reach up in there and walk it back and forth, because there's one corner in the upper inner fender that doesn't want to go over. So you kind of have to rotate it almost 45 degrees either way to kind of get that to walk on. Well, we ended up getting it. So we tightened up the fender. We're going to move this over and bolt it in. We're going to put it back together. See if it runs.
Turned it. Loosely threaded in these. Gabe still applying heat.
Like, I don't want to walk away now. It's heat soaked, you know. I want to make sure that I get this as good as possible. Shout out to Buck and Haley. His handle is just Buck stuff, so thanks for the like today, brother. Couldn't have done it without you. Very appreciative. And shout out to your friends, man. You know,
Shout out to the homies, bro.
shout out to the homies. Sometimes we just need some homies
Where are
around.
the other? This one right there.
Talk you into really completely reckless fender cut.
Love to see it.
Okay, now the moment of truth.
Undo ratchet.
Ratchet strap off.
Did not break.
That's actually pretty solid, Ben.
Dude, this is amazing. Ah, I love it. Love to see a snorkel.
Backwards, right? Yeah.
Backwards for the cool
I
kids.
think it's backwards for sure.
Especially in a snowstorm, bro.
Everybody's getting triggered right now.
Look at that.